Hi, in this video I am going to talk about recommended desktop distributions and desktop environments. But first, I will talk to you about the benefits of using Linux. First, it is fast. The speed depends on the distribution and the computer, but in general, it is always faster than Windows. Then it is safe. Linux is proud to be virus-free, and that's part of the reason why it backs up bank systems and proprietary data and most of the web. It is also customizable. There is a lot of choice in Linux. You can always have your computer exactly the way you want it, and if you don't like a part of your operating system, there is most of the time an alternative. It is entirely free and ad-free for conceptual reasons. I will explain why and how in a future video. Linux is stable, which means it's not likely to crash. The stability depends on the distribution and other things like software, drivers, hardware capabilities, but in general, it is more stable than Windows. It is open source. I will explain again what that means in a future video, but it is a big conceptual advantage over Windows and macOS. The first distribution is Ubuntu. This is a very popular distribution for desktop. It is made to be easy to use, and it's backed by a big company called Canonical. It has a lot of users, a good documentation, and active forums in several languages. In my opinion, beginners should always use Ubuntu or a distribution based on Ubuntu. If a distribution is based on Ubuntu, it means that the people that created it started with the Ubuntu source code and made some modifications to come up with something new. Choosing a distribution that's based on Ubuntu means that you can use Ubuntu's documentation, forum, and apps. The next distribution is Linux Mint. It is based on Ubuntu, and it's also a popular distribution. It has its own forums documentation, and it is a good alternative to Ubuntu. It can ship either with the Cinnamon or the Mate desktop environment. I will talk about desktop environments later. The last option is Ubuntu Flavors. This is a set of distributions made by the Ubuntu community that provide Ubuntu with other desktop environments. They update at the same time as Ubuntu, and they are officially supported by Canonical. There is also good distributions based on Ubuntu that I didn't talk about, like Budget Remix or Elementary OS. You can check them out yourself. Desktop environments. This is the graphical interface of your operating systems. It defines how the windows look, where the menus are, how they behave. It also defines the default apps. Basically, this is the part of the operating system you can directly interact with. So, if you change the desktop environment, it will change almost everything visually. So, here is a comparison table of the main desktop environments. The good points of the desktop environments are in green and the bad points in red. Again, there is other desktop environments that are not listed here, like AlexQt, Budgie or Pantheon. Keep in mind that I made the table from my personal experiences. If you have a recent computer, speed won't matter, and you might not agree with me for criteria. You can install more than one desktop environment on the same operating system and choose at login which one you want to use. But this is not recommended. I did that many times, and I always ended up with an unstable system. I had several bugs with window managers, LightDM, system resuming cursors, and so on. So I recommend choosing a desktop environment that you like, and then installing an Ubuntu-based distribution that ships with this desktop environment. There is, for each desktop environment, the distribution I recommend. You probably noticed there is two choices for KDE. Kubuntu is the official flavor, and it is more stable. And KDE Neon is always updated to the latest version. There is also two choices for Mate. Ubuntu Mate is my favorite one. It is stylish and different and easy to use and configure. Linux Mint Mate has a very different default look and different default apps. This is the end of this video. In my next video, I will be talking about applications and compatibility on Linux. Thank you for watching, and see you later.